So I'm not sure if anybody's just joined us and then I've missed, but for those that were only just joining us, well, if you've got a foam roller or a bolster, or if not, just a rolled up tight towel, we're going to need it a little bit during the class. Not a lot, but it's just to put the hips and the pelvis in the right place while we're working through certain areas. So just have that to hand to one side. So what we're going to do is we're just going to refresh the body because it's the end of the year and we just had some news and we want to all get ready for the year ahead. I just want you to start by putting your feet into a closed position, turning out like Charlie Chaplin or a ballerina, and turning on the balls of your feet and dropping your heels down. And just take a minute to feel your feet very grounded. Try not to lean into your heels, come into the middle of your feet so your instep's very level. Just let your shoulders fall nice and heavily. Give your head a little bit of movement. And just take a lovely, lovely deep breath in. And then just let that breath leave the body. Just take your hands up nice and high. Big deep breath and open up the lungs. We're just putting the lungs into a slightly different position with the air still in there. And then exhale and just bring them back down. So think about as you're holding the air inside, your lungs are moving, it's helping cleanse. So breathe in, open up and hold up there. And then exhale, just gently bring back down. Really simple, we're going to do that one more time. Just opening up the body, nice cleansing breath. Inhale, look up with the head this time. Retain the breath at the top. And back down. And just with your arms, we're just going to let the shoulders just moving backwards. And what you're going to find is even though the shoulders are moving, you're going to feel there's a lot of activity going on here in the digestive system. And seeing as we always like a little bit of a cleanse and detox, not just energy-wise, but also with our tummies, it's good just to get that stuff to stimulate a little bit. So just have a little roll through your shoulders. And stay as you are. I'm just going to turn so you can see a little bit better. Bring your hands into a prayer position. We're going to inhale and take the hands up nice and high. Hold the breath, retain it, let the ribcage flare. Take your hands out behind you, and now exhale, release and reset the ribcage. So bring your hands in front, big deep breath in, take your hands up. Keep that air in the lungs as you open and stretch back, open up the ribcage, and back down. Last time, let's do that one more time, and up. Open up, hold the breath inside the lungs, now release and back down. And again, just let your shoulders have some movement. Just want to get the lungs a bit more awake, getting oxygen, so we feel quite a bit more awake in our heads. And then give your hands a big shake. Ooh, feet a good shake. Let's wake the body up, let's get the cells invigorated. And then back to our starting position. So we're going to start at the feet, we're going to work up all the way through the body. So just place your hands either on your hips, or if you feel you need them for balance, just bring them out to the side. So, not hunched in this position, just let the shoulders drop. I'm just going to come up onto the top of the toes. Now don't let your ankles come out, try and contain them so you're on the balls of your feet nice and high. And come back down. Let's go. Pressing through your toes, feeling your toes move. Come up nice and high, big deep breath in. And back down. Let's do that one more time. Coming up. And back down. Now what we're just going to do is bend one knee and push through across our toes, so the balls of our feet. We've got the toes are bent, and we're going to feel that movement and move across the balls of the feet. Feel it really stretch out. If you've got blocked sinuses, I always say this to you, by doing this with your feet, it helps release them. That's where your sinus points are, your reflexology points on the base of your feet. So your head, clear your nose. And then make sure you do, I know it's not comfortable for everybody, but turn your toes over. See if you can go in the opposite direction. I know it's not everybody's favourite thing, but we'll just give it a little go if we can. And then on to the other side, let's do the same again. So let's just move through that point. Feel the toes opening up underneath, feel the balls of the feet stretching. Feel that movement. Should be a nice massage for the feet. And then turn and let those feet move in the opposite direction. Again, if it feels uncomfortable, you can just hold it still. You can move if you want. It is up to you. And turn back to neutral. Put your hands back on your hips. We're going to pull up again, but we're going to really engage the thighs. So inhale and come up. Pull up through the thighs as much as you can. Tummy muscles really engaged here, pulling in towards the centre line. And as we come back down, we're just going to bend our knees slightly. Nice and straightforward, isn't it? Let's come back up. If you need to hold on to something as you come up, do so. That's absolutely fine. You can use a chair if it's nearby. Pull up through the thighs, engage the backs of the legs. Now back down. We're going to do that one more time. Big deep breath in, coming up. Try and keep your head level off the ground, not looking down if you can help it. And back down, bend your knees and just stick your bottom up behind you, and let's just take the hands out in front of you. So you're warming the knees and opening the seat area there. Just let the wrists have a move here. And then take your body back up nice and high, big deep breath in. Like we did with the breathing at the beginning of the class, just hold your breath there. Now exhale, release and bring that down. And again, just let those shoulders move. We're going to step 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. I'm going to just push the heel towards the ground, bend into that front knee. Now, the aim of the game here is not to, have a stretch to the back of the calf, find balance. So it's not a big warrior move, it's just a starting warming move. So we need that knee bent, heels as towards the ground as we can, body's nice and tall, and we're going to take the hands up nice and high. So big deep breath in at the top. Retain that breath, open up, and then exhale, bring the hands down behind the back, clasp the hands together, and just draw open that chest. Try and keep your eyes level, find a point in front of you, being nice and solid on the ground, trying to find your balance. And then inhale, take your hands back up. And then as we exhale, we're going to come down, touch the ground, and then push the hands, push through that foot and come back up. So you're thinking about balance now, it's all about your hips working. So big deep breath in. Again, we're just going to come down, keep everything nice and stable, touch the ground. And last time, inhale, coming back up, push through that heel. And then as we exhale, we're going to push off the front foot and step back. And what you should be able to feel is there's an activity here and a little bit of the hips. Nothing too much, we're just warming and working to start with. Let's do the same on the other side. It's not a wide stance. It's just a bit wider than shoulder distance apart. Wide as your mat. Your heel down behind you. Back knees bent, back legs straight. So front knees bent, back legs straight. Body's nice and tall. Find that balance point. Pull your tummy muscles in to hold yourself here. Big deep breath in. Take those hands up nice and high. Feel that heel pushing into the ground behind you. And as we exhale, the same, let that ribcage flare. Hands down behind the back and let your chin lift this time if you feel you can. If not, just keep your head nice and level. At the top, let's take a nice big deep breath in. Think about your solid stance. Exhale. Now bring the hands back up and over the head. Big deep breath in. Try and keep your balance as you reach forward and touch the ground. Doesn't matter if you can't touch the ground, I want you to emphasize that. Push through your heel, use your balance, coming back up. Nice big deep breath at the top. Let's do that one more time. Let's come forward. Forming, you see this area here and through the knees. And inhale, coming up nice and high. Then exhale, just push through and release. And just let your hips have some movement. I know, we look like we're dancing, and that's fine as well. Let it sway. With your knees, we're going to hurdle. So we're going to lift and take the knee out and drop, and in and back. We're warming this area here. So if you want to put your hands on your hips, that would be nice. If you need to hold on to something, do that. And back in. And back out. And back in. Let's do the other side, shall we? So we're going to work it both angles. Balance, just bring yourself back in and drop down. Try and bring in your core, and it helps with your balance. And back in. Just feeling that move. Lift that knee nice and high if you can. Don't worry if it's still low. Really doesn't matter. And then walk on the spot. As I'm asking you to go somewhere, but we're not really moving. So just let that, your hands on your hips to do it. Just let that move. What I'm trying to do is just wake all your muscles up for the class. So let's just take the leg out to the side. Again, everything's contained into the centre line. Nice straight spine. Open chest. Oh, it out. I want you to see if you can just lift that foot off the ground. And then bring it back in. Now add a variation. Let's take that foot out, lift it off the ground, and then I want you to see if you can bend it in towards the hip, and back out, and back down. Do that one more time. So working the hips in different angles, taking it out, in, out, and down. That little walk in the middle. Really simple. Take the foot out to the side. We're trying to move energy blocks, try and get that energy flowing back through the body, feeling refreshed. Let's do a big deep breath in, lift that foot off the ground and hold. And back down. Just gonna feel work moving through your hips. Let's do that again. Take it out, lift up. See if you can hold the breath as you bring your knee in. Now exhale out and down. Tummies are contained, remember to keep them contained. And again, take your foot out, breathe in, come up. Contain the breath as you bend your knee. Exhale back out and down. And then let your hips have some movement. Let them really sway. Let's really exaggerate it. So we're walking, like we're trying to walk through tyres. We're just going to warm the hip flexors up. Move through, let the hips sway with it. I know we look like very interesting models walking down the catwalk, don't we? But that's just what we need to do. Work the hips a little bit. They come to a nice stationary position. And big circles through the hips. You can bend the knees if you need to. Big circular moves. What you can do is find it's moving through the spine now as well, not just through the hips and the ankles. So working the whole body really. So let's move through. Let's really lean forward. Let's really exaggerate. Lean back, lean forward. One more time like that. Back, lean forward, and come up, hands stop at the top. Take your hands up, big deep breath in. Exhale, reset. Now, we've got to try and take the hips in the opposite direction. So let's try and think what we did before. So we've got to come round the front and lean back. Round the front and lean back. You can start being quite big in this movement from the word-go. We've already started to warm through this point, so we should be quite malleable. Nice movement. Feeling the tummy muscles engaged, leaning back. Nice big open. One more time. That's it. Inhale, come up. Exhale, root down. Inhale, take your hands up, take them slightly behind your head, let your ribcage flare. And exhale, reset your spine. Let your shoulders just have a little move. With your hips, feet hips distance apart, I'm just going to bend the knees. Now watch, we're not sitting in a chair. We're going to keep the hips up quite high, knees are just bent, and we're just going to slide down, try and get our chest as close towards the knees with the tailbone still pointing up towards the ceiling. And you can drop your hands down on the ground if you can reach it. If not, you can just put them on your knees. But what we want is this area here, wide open, tailbone up, and we're working with the body against the legs. The hands drop. A couple of nice breaths while we're here. Really let that energy and move into the head. Now, if you feel a bit uncomfortable, I want you to lift your head up. If you have blood pressure problems, we don't want any pressure there through the head. So we're just going to let the body feel comfortable. Your hands on your knees, lift your chin up, open up your chest, let your chest lift towards the ceiling. Now contract and tilt your pelvis in the opposite direction, round through your spine. Inhale at the top. Bring back down. Let the shoulders just have a little move. Take your hands up, big deep breath in. Bend your knees again, tailbones sticking up towards the ceiling, pop yourself back down, reaching down towards the ground. Again, we're keeping the knees bent but tailbone up, so we've got that nice open through the seat area. You can feel the hips are engaged. If you need to, you lift your head up. Just feel very, very, very relaxed here. Just let your shoulders become quite heavy, pulling you down. Nice to feel. Have a little rest in between, isn't it? Put your hands on your knees, lift your chin up. Now contract and round and bring it all the way up and out and straight back down, because we're going to do something slightly different. So we're going to bring the hands onto the knees, we're going to lift the chin up, keep the hands very much attached to the knees, round and arch, and just tuck your chin in towards your chest and have that big round movement down the back of the spine. Now inhale, lift the chin back up, take the tailbone out again. Exhale, contract your tummy muscles here and round through your body, squeeze your bum. Now inhale, taking it back, opening up the seat area, opening up the tummy. Exhale, last time, contract around and lift this time, nice and high. And release. Just let your shoulders again have that movement. You'll feel that spine move as you move your shoulders. That's what we want. We want that freedom in our spine. Hands up nice and high. One hand down, place it on the side of your leg, and just a little reach to one side. Inhale, reaching up, and exhale, let's take it over to the other side. Don't force it too much, we're still warming, it's still early in the morning. Inhale, come up, exhale, over. Inhale, come up, exhale and over. Now we're going to add something in here. We're going to inhale, coming up, exhale over, and just let the arms fall in front of the face and lift back up and fall. We're going to do it 3 times. Lift back up and fall. Now lift the hand back up over the head, go over the top of the other arm, dropping down towards the other side. That's it. Now let the hand fall in front of the face and lift back up and fall in front of the face. And last time, breathing in as we do, exhale as we drop. And then lift both hands up towards the ceiling, lattice your fingers together, push through the fingers and push up so we can feel there's a big opening here in our body, lifting out of our hips, a nice big open body. And we're just going to rotate the hands, so I'm going to draw, well, let's say polish your lovely halos above your head. Well, they're shiny already, but just moving through. I mean, mine's really big. So just have that nice shiny. Okay, and then change your direction. And although you're going to feel your shoulders, you're actually going to feel it down the sides of your body, which is what we want. We want the body to feel that there's some movement into the hips. And then reach up nice and high and bring your hands down behind your back. And again, let's just let the shoulders have a little rotation. And do them both together. And I like to say, look, we're polishing our hips now. So it's a rounded motion back down. And we're pulling the shoulders back. Think about warming through the chest muscles as you do it, and the middle of the back. So let that move. Now, give your shoulders a bit of a shake. Give your hands a bit of a shake. Feel there's movement in your tummies. Everything off. You'll feel like you'll need to move your neck, so let's let that happen as well. Okay. Ground ourselves, and then we're going to go down onto the mat. Feet hips distance apart, hands come onto your hips again. Big deep breath in, come onto the tops of your toes. We're going to exhale, drop those feet down, pop them out behind us like we did at the beginning of the class, reaching out. Drop your hands down. Lift your bum up, see if you can straighten your legs. Don't worry if you can't touch the ground, we're just working through the backs of the knees for a second. And then very gently, we're going to open up the feet slightly. We're going to bend the knees and come into a nice low front. I can almost hear all your knees clicking. So let's just keep them warming by bringing them back up and straightening the legs again and dropping the head back down. We are going down towards the mat, but I want you to have a little motion through the body and the knees and drop back down. We'll do it one more time. Sometimes yoga in the morning should be more gentle than difficult. We're just trying to warm up, get energy moving. Last time, back down. And in this position, let your bottom really sink towards the ground. Let it almost fall towards the ground. And we're going to reach the hands out in front of us, but what we don't want to do is we're not reaching, lifting the bum forward. We're going to keep that bum away from us and reach our hands out in front of us so we can feel movement down the body. And we can feel that tailbone dropping, the hips are opening. Now, if it's too much for you, you do not have to be in this very low position because you might find the hips are a bit uncomfortable. Find what works for you. Have a nice big in and out breath. And then very gently, just bring yourself up. Take your hands behind your back and try not to fall on the ground. Let's just lower ourselves down gently and take the legs out in front of us and give your knees a nice little move. It will feel a bit better. Now, whatever you've made, provided yourself with, grab hold of it now. What I want you to do is I want you to sit on it, which is why it needs to be solid and tight, because if you sit on a soft towel that falls to pieces, it's going to defeat the object. Now, pop ourselves on it. The reason why we're up here is what tends to happen is when people sit down, they wrap round through their back. So sitting on top of the bolster, we can actually bring our weight forward and sit on top of our tailbone more comfortably. So if you're on a roller, you want to make sure you feel like you're not going to fall, you're not going to roll about too much, but you do want to feel like the weight's almost forward on that roller. But the pelvis tilted in the correct direction. Think of that spine being stacked on top of your vertebrae, on top of your tailbone, head's nice and high. Now, bring the hands into a lattice position. Big deep breath in and take them up and over the head. Try and lift your body out of your hips And try not to move about on your butt too much. Try to find that nice point and lift through the body. I mean, this is so far is quite straightforward. We are going to be moving around a little bit. So big deep breath in. Bring your hands down onto your waist. Drop your shoulders. Draw your shoulder blades together and walk your hands around your back and push your chest out in front of you. Try and maintain. What you're going to find is your core muscles are going to have to kind of work here to hold yourself from falling. Lift up with your chin. You're going to feel the tops of your legs engage here. Big deep breath in. And then we're going to tilt the pelvis in the opposite direction. So we're going to rock back slightly and let the back round. Not got the stability of the nice level floor. Now, tilt the pelvis back up and come back up and over the head. Exhale, bring your hands back down to your back. Let the body lift, draw the shoulder blades in. I really want you to feel the shoulder blades pulling in towards each other. Lifting up with the chin. Big deep breath in. Now let the tailbone tilt in the opposite direction. The tailbone's going to tilt forward, your back's going to slump out. Try not to roll off the block or the bolster or whatever you've chosen. And then come back up and sit up nice and tall. Take your hands up over your head one more time. Let your chest protrude. Keep the hands behind your head. And what we're going to do is we're going to lean forward in towards the knees and reach down towards the toes. Now, you've got no stability here because you're lifted off the ground. Your hips are higher than your ankles. So you're going to have to let the weight come forward. You're going to have to trust the weight. Trust that the legs are going to take it. If you feel a bit uncomfortable in your knees, let them bend slightly. That's absolutely fine. You're not staying down here long. Got other things to do. We're going to inhale, take the hands up nice and high, and drop ourselves back down. Now stay on top of your bolsters and bring yourself into a cross-leg position. Again, on top of our tailbone. If we're in this position, if you can see yourself or think you're in this position, bring your weight forward and sit on top. We want that tailbone aligned. This is when our digestion works better, when everything's open and we're stacked and we're healthy. Let those knees fall into position, which is very subtle when it comes to pelvic movement. It's very important. That's why we sometimes have blocks in class. Hands on knees, big deep breath in. Bring your hand onto your opposite knee. Draw your hand behind and see if you can just reach for the ground. But look, the spine is very straight. We're drawing open from the shoulder and we're looking behind us. So now the shoulders are level with the side of the mat and we're looking over our back shoulder. Try not to put too much pressure on that knee that you're holding. Keep your body still, breathe in. Just rotate your head and look over your front shoulder. Let the breath go. Inhale back with the head. Don't let your pelvis tilt. Exhale back. Last time. Inhale back over. And as we exhale, bring both hands forward and release the spine. So you're going to feel quite a lot of work happening here in the spine. Try not to slouch. We're sitting on these blocks for a reason. We want nice tall spines. Hands on knees. Big deep breath in. Hand onto your opposite knee. Draw open the shoulder. We're trying to get the chest towards the side of the mat. Reach back behind. You might find the spine clicks in a nice way when you're in a nice straight line. So sit on top of that tailbone. Look over your back shoulder. Now inhale. Bring your head over your front shoulder. That's it. Exhale back over. Inhale back over your front shoulder. Exhale back over. Inhale back to front. Exhale all the way to the back. Stay here, breathe in. Exhale, uncall the body and bring your hands back down and let your shoulders move and try and make sure your pelvis stays still as you let the shoulders rotate. You're going to feel movement down here, but want that tailbone very rooted to our lifting device. Let your head smooth. Now, this is where it gets a bit trickier. So I want you to bring your feet into bound angle pose or butterfly pose, as it's more commonly known. And you want to be sitting on top of your tailbone. So this is the point where you can rock through on your bolster or your block or whatever you've chosen to try and sit with the tailbone. The tailbone really needs to be underneath the body. So what happens in this position when we're on the ground and we open up the knees, the tailbone rocks forward and then we send to something like this, and this is not what we want. I don't want you pushing on the knees, I just want it to come from the centre of the body. So we're sitting up nice and tall. Even if your knees are up here but your body is high and you're stacked properly, I'm happy. For those that can, you're just going to let the knees drop and you're going to make sure the pelvis hasn't tilted as you've let the knees drop. Place your hands towards your feet. And all we're going to do is keep that spine straight, almost lifting through the chest. Big deep breath in and just squeeze your knees towards your elbows without leaning in, without rounding the back. It's a straight back, lift your chest through. and drop them back down. Try not to let that pelvis tilt again. Remember, we're sitting on top. One more time. Keep that pelvis very still. You can even put your hands on your tummies if you want to try and make sure you feel like you're on your back to make sure you're not moving. It's whatever feels comfortable to you. And then let those knees drop. And then let the head move. And let the shoulders have some rotation. And then just take those feet out in front and let the knees go. But one more thing we're going to do whilst on this block. We're going to bring the feet back in. Again, remember we're on this block for a reason, so sit on top of that towel. We reset ourselves every time, it's so important. Open up that body. Now take your hands out to the side, breathe in, and we're going to, first of all, we're going to hold on to each shoulder and bring the elbows together in front of the body, and then we're going to glue the elbows to the chest. We're going to bring them down and glue them. Now, these do not need to lift off the chest at all. If you imagine you can't lift them, they're glued down. And with the ends of your elbows, you're going to draw figures of 8s. So your arms aren't lifting at all. Actually, your tummies and all through your belly button is going to be doing all the work that you're moving through by drawing and leading the way with the elbows which are glued to your body. Now, you're going to feel your pelvis and your tailbone very much engaged on the thing below you. So if you're on a rolling or foam block and you feel uncomfortable, this is where your core action comes in. So you want to squeeze your tummy muscles in, stop yourself from moving, and then change the direction. Don't let your elbows lift. It's your body that's lifting, your elbows are attached. Movement going. Think about stimulating your digestion and your kidneys and underneath your rib cage. And then, just open up and release. Now take your hands back out. Let's take them over to the other side. So now, let's try and remember which way we did. I don't know if I've just done this directly, but let's keep going. Then we're going, I did. Then we're going to keep doing it on the other side. So let's keep those elbows close towards the body. Let's move through all the way down to the tailbone. Try and keep your knees as still as you can. Feel that tailbone moving up and into the bolster below you, and then change your direction. Let's think about all of the stuff we're stimulating, all of the organs we're toning, and try not to lift the elbows high. That's stuck to your body. It's your body that's doing the work, not your elbows. One more time. And then open up. And really, you should feel like there's quite a lot of work happened here. Nice feeling, it's a relaxing feeling. Let your head go. Let your shoulders go. And then we're going to come off the block, so take your time to come off it. And we're going to bring it and put it underneath our legs. So we've got some lift off the ground. We're going to lean forward, but we're going to take the pressure off the back of the knees by placing that nice bolster underneath the back there. Your bottom's on the ground up. Because your knees are slightly bent, again, you should be able to lift on top of your tailbone if you're hit. In fact, let's just do that a couple of times. So just drop your hands down and lift the body, roll your tailbone so it's sort of facing backwards, and then roll and let it slump. Let's do that a couple of times backwards and forwards. So you can feel where your pelvis and your tailbone, you'll feel that tailbone snaking through the body, and then I want you to bring yourself on top and stop at the top. Take the hands up nice and high. Reach up and just have a reach from side to side so you can feel not only space down here, but down the sides of the body. Wrists, give them a rotation. Up nice and high, take them behind the head as best as you can, and let that top of that ribcage flare up towards the ceiling. So a little bit of a flare, and the chin's looking up. Now keep that flare going. I'm going to lead with the chest. Big deep breath in. Keep lifting. So lift up and over and down towards your feet. Let your head drop, and you should be able to feel the lower back is having a nice open there. We're going to do that again. So when we come out of it, we're going to imagine someone's underneath our armpits. They've lifted us up, and they've re-stacked our vertebrae right on top of that tail. And again, place your hands on your knees this time. I'm going to slump back and lift the ribcage. Slump back and lift the ribcage. Think about it like a train. You know how the wheels go around. Think about doing that. And then we're going to come up and we're going to stop on the top, very straight. Inhale, take your hands up nice and high. Bring them behind your back, lead them with the chest, coming forward, reach. Stop halfway. I want you to reach, I want you to keep that reach going. I want you to imagine the shoulders coming out of the ribcage. You reach, and then come all the way down to the ground. Let the head fall. Breathe in and out here.
Now, I want you to take your attention, keep your hands where they are, but I want you to take your attention to your lower back here. I want you to breathe into your tummy muscles and put your belly button out to make yourself look really big and bloated. And as you do it, you should notice that there's a bit of pressure now on the lower spine. So do that breath now, take that breath in. Feel that pressure in the back. Now exhale, bring that belly button back towards the spine and feel that release. Let your body go heavier as you go down. Do that again, feel that bloating pushing into your back, breathing in. Feel that massage with the air trapped inside your tummies. Now exhale, draw your belly button back towards your spine and see if you can walk your shoulders forward a little bit further. And again, let's do that again. Now draw your belly button back and see if you can just take yourself down a little bit more and then just rest in this position. Doesn't matter how far down you are. What I don't want you to do is reach with your hands. I want you to be able to swap your shoulders, swap your head, and just rest in the position. I want you to look down at your legs, soften your jaws, all the lines on your forehead and your cheeks. Oh, the rest, giving you a rest. Just feel nice and soft. You can even bring your hands in towards your body if it feels more comfortable, but it's just letting those shoulders, and this is where I want it. It's the lower back, it's having a lovely rest. Let's keep that movement going with the breath, looking down towards your legs, looking at them and not really seeing them, just soft faces, just feeling the cool air go in through the nose. Maybe you want to part your lips and feel the warm air come back out. Just think every time you release that air, you're releasing tension, releasing any kind of stress, and do that again. Big deep breath in. And releasing all the tension through the body. Now very gently lift your chin first. Imagine someone's underneath your armpits, they're lifting you up, and you're going to feel this in your lower spine as you re-engage. Oh, all the way back down. You feel there's been action here. Now move your bolster. We're going to be using them again at some point, so just keep them close by. I want you to let the knees have a little bit of movement here. And we're going to lean forward. You're going to feel a lot different in the backs of the legs now because we've already done the back and we've had them very supported. So big deep breath and lift your hands up. Let your ribcage flare. Look, I know it's not easy, but we want to lead with the chest. We don't want to be in this position going forward. We lead with the chest. Imagine you're being pulled forward and all the way back down. And now keep your knees as straight as you can. And all we're going to do is draw rainbows with the shoulders. So we're just going to sway the body from side to side. And what you're going to feel is that the side that you're leaning into, you're going to feel a deeper stretch on that particular leg. So we're just going to let it move and sway. Just let the movement happen and feel the lower back open up. And then fall in the middle and just let yourself fall forward. And also what you to do, this might be a bit uncomfortable for most people, but if you can, I'd like you to try it, is push your heels away from you, bring your toes towards your calves so you've got a nice flat foot, and just push the backs of your knees by activating the tops of your thighs down towards the ground. Not very comfortable, is it? But you're going to feel like where we're feeling it. And then let the feet go soft, and then very gently underneath your armpits again, lifting up and re-stacking the vertebrae. Fingertips away from you, hands pointing away from me. Look, there's quite a distance. There's probably about half a foot between my bum and the heel of my hand, and there's a good reason for that. What we want to do is we want to draw and open the chest and try and get a little bit of lift and push the chest forward. So we're pushing our heels of our hands in towards the ground, and we've got a nice open chest. Lift the chin if you can. Now exhale, lift the hands off the ground and round through your back in the opposite direction. Lattice your fingers together and push through so you can feel the stretch through the back of your shoulders. And then let your body do little, but only very tiny figures of eights in front of you. The sensation is not in your shoulders, we want it in the back. Sides of the body in the back. Very small movements. Look how rounded the shoulders are. Look how rounded the back is. Feel that movement move into your hips, opening up the back, opening up the shoulder blades. Oh. And then change the direction. We'll just do it 2 or 3 times. That's it. Oh, and then draw your hands in. Sit back on top of your tailbone. Put your hands down. Just bring one leg up. And we're going to take it over the top of the knee. Remember, today's practice is not about trying to get everything invigorated. It's a gentle movement. We've had Christmas, we want to get the body and the energy back to its nice place again. So place the foot on the ground on the other side, and we're going to lean in towards that bottom. So you should be able to be looking down at your open hip there. Your hand on your knee, draw your hand behind and look behind you. That's it. Big deep breath in. And then inhale. And turn all the way around. Place your hands on the other side. Little twist through the spine. And back to neutral. It's just releasing tension in the digestive system. Now, if you can, I want you to drop your foot on top of your knee. If you can't, just drop it on the ground. You can even drop it a bit further down from you. But we are actually going to be lifting through the foot. So what I want you to try and do is bring one hand, so your opposite hand is going to come and sit on top of your ankle there. With your other hand, it's going to come over the top, so you're going to cross the arms over, and you're going to reach around, cross the little toe, and hold onto the base of your foot. So your palm of your hands touching the palm of your foot, and your fingers around the front of your toe. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect. But this is an energy circle. This is all to do with energy healing, this particular move. So we're going to see if we can breathe and just lift that foot up a little bit and lean back a little bit. And as we exhale, we bring the weight forward. And again, this is moving energy from the hips and the feet and up. And exhale. Don't think of this as about being flexible or strengthening. This is all about your energy in your body. And again, one more time. And back down. And then just release that. Now we're going to do the same as we did to start with on the other side. So we're going to bend the knee and place it on the floor on the other side. We're going to move into that side where the hip is open. So place your hand on your knee, or if you want to hug it, you can do. Take your hand behind, sit on top of your tailbone. Let's lift the neck out of there. Look over your back shoulders. Stay here, big deep breath in. And as we exhale, rotate the body and place the hands on the ground. Just feel that twist happen through the body. That's a nice feeling. Very nice feeling. And then come back to center. Same as we did before. Let's just drop the foot in a position we can be comfortable in. Again, if it's on the ground, don't worry. That's absolutely okay. Or if it's out in front of you, you're doing it, that's fine. But for those that can, we're going to manage it by bringing it on top of the leg. I know this is quite a bit of flexibility in the hips for this one. So bring your opposite hand onto your ankle, the other hand's going to come over the top and wrap around the base of your foot. Don't worry if it's not perfect. It's fine. Give it a go, that's all that matters. Sit up nice and tall now, breathe in, see if you can lift. And exhale forward. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Last time. Inhale up. Exhale forward. Lift the head up, release, and let the legs move and just feel nice and relaxed. Let your shoulders go. In this position, what we're going to do is step nice and high. I want you to take one hand up, big deep breath in, just place the hand on the ground, and exhale, reach, and just touch the ground behind. Inhale, reach the hand back up over the head, and reach across both legs and try and touch the ground as far over as you can go. Let's do that again. Inhale up. Exhale, just have a little tap. Inhale back up. Exhale over. And then we're just going to lift that hand up nice and high and release, and do the same. So we draw it up. In fact, let's draw it up through the meridians of the body, bringing the hands up nice and high. Exhale, tap the ground behind you. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, reach across and tap the ground from over the tops of your feet. And again, inhale up and tap. Inhale up and reach and tap. And then inhale nice and high and release, and just let those shoulders move. It's really nice. Because we're just going to let the movement keep moving up the body, just going to take the hands out to the side. And what we're going to do is, I know we always just kind of joke and say we're making waves, but that's the sensation I want. I want you to let that movement move through your shoulders. Feel it happen underneath your ribcage, and the hands are soft movement. It's not, we're not trying to force it, it's not fast. It's feeling that movement. Feel it move across your shoulders, back out the fingers and back again. And lean back a little bit into it. Let the chin lift, and then let your body come slightly forward. And again, chin lift and body forward. And then take your hands up. Oh, and release. Take your hands up and release. And then let your neck move, let it move. So we're going to start to calm the body back down. So first of all, just give your neck a bit of movement and feel quite structured in your position. Not too upset if you're not completely on top of your tailbone, but do try and sit. You might find you can sit better on top of your tailbone without the bolster because we've been kind of moving the hips around. But either have your legs out in front of you or cross your legs. What we want to do is just kind of just relax this area here of our body. So I ask you to do this every week, and you're getting so good at it, so we may as well carry on the theme. I want you to open your jaws as wide as you can, and really, like, you're giving as big as you want, and I don't care if your face is screwed up. Think about all that tension in your face. So open up as wide and really squeeze. And relax the face. Oh, doesn't that feel nice to relax? Now do that again and let your jaw move around. So let's open up. And release. And you might find as you do it, you feel like you want to go further because it's starting to open. Let's do it one more time. Let your neck move. Oh, that's good. Just drop your head to one side. We are going to be lying down in a moment, but we're just going to release the neck as much as we can. So drop the head to one side. Feel the ears fall towards those shoulders. Let that all just relax down one side. And with that opposite shoulder, you can give it a movement if you want, or you can keep it very still. But we just want to feel like that neck muscle is nice. Breathe in and relax your jaws. No tension in your face at all. Now take your head over the top and drop to the other side. Again, if you want to move your head slightly, if you want to move your shoulder, you can do. If you want to stay still, that's quite okay. If a lot happens in the neck, we have to be careful. Yoga's not about getting the most flexibility. It's about being comfortable with ourselves. So just being still is so important. So big deep breath in, relax your jaws. Nice start, nice relief. And back up. And then just take your chin up towards the ceiling and push your chin forward slightly. Feel it, just the bottom set of teeth just overcome the top set. Feel it stretch. And put your hands on your chin and just sweep down onto your chest. Just do that 3 times. That feels nice. Now, I did this with the class last night and they all loved it, whether you like it or not. I'm not sure, but we'll give it a go. But what we're going to do is put our index fingers behind the crease where our ears meet our head, and we're going to massage all the way down the backs of the ears, really pressing in and moving all the cartilage of the ears, moving around the muscles where the ear is attached to, up and down the backs of the ears. I know, how many yoga lessons do you go to where you get to play with your ears? I know. But it does feel great afterwards, and it's so important for the tension in your neck to release them. So let's just do it one more time, and then bring yourself to the top of the ears, and then bring your hands, pull all the stress down and just sit it on the top of your collarbone. We're going to do that again. So we're going to reach to the top of the ears, pull them down and sit on the top. You have to feel like everything's very lovely and relaxed. You're going to bring your fingertips to the top of your eyebrows, and we're going to do a sweep of energy through the body. So we're going to take it across the back of the head, down across the shoulders, down underneath the armpits near the lats, coming down across and then off your feet. Let's do that again. Hands on top of the head, sweep them backwards, down the body, round. So you get rid of anything that doesn't serve you anymore. And sweep off your hands as well. Let your head. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the bolster, the block. Now, if you have got a foam roller or a block, you might want to do this. You might want to bring a cushion into it. So I'm going to give you the option to try and do what's right for you. But what we're going to do is we're going to be lying down, and we're going to take the roll along our spinal cord, and it sits just before the top of the fuse at the base of our spine. So we want to lie back on it, and we want to be able to pop our head over the top. Now, if you've got a a block or a bolster where you feel you might roll off. I mean, the thing is, if you're very used to using them on your back, you're going to be okay. But the thing is, what we want to do is just drop ourselves into a position where we can drop the shoulders and we can drop the hands down onto the rib cage here, and we can rest the head, rest the face. And I don't want you to force anything. I just want you to let your hands now drop to the sides and feel that there's movement and opening underneath the rib cage, down into the tummies and into the chest. So there's a really gentle movement through the front of the body. And I want you to breathe into your chest and try and expand your chest as deeply as possible with that bolster underneath your body. So take a big deep breath in. Hold that breath. Now as you exhale, shoulders heavy, hands heavy, bottom heavy. Let's do that again. Big deep breath in. Just relax the shoulders, they're heavy, the hands are heavy, the bottom's heavy. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in. And let it release. Now bring your hands, cross them over your body and place one hand on each shoulder. And what you're going to find is you're going to feel like you're rolling around on that block. And that's what we want a little bit. I don't need to roll off it, but once we feel like that block is massaging down your spine and across your shoulder blades, see if you can maintain yourself, stop yourself from rolling off, and just feel the pressure in your back through that bolster or that block or that roller, and just let it roll and move across the back. Feel the sensation in your back. And what's going to be happening is that, yes, your chest is going to be open because your hands are up here, is stopping you from being too out of control. Oh. And then very gently, you take your hands over your head and drop them over your head. So they're nice and long above your head. And you're going to feel your shoulder blades suddenly open, and your chest and underneath your ribcage can feel very open now. Breathe into the chest, breathe in deeply like we did before. And let the breath go. Relax the shoulders as much as possible. That's tough because you feel like you need to hold yourself in a position, but you want to let the shoulders be as heavy as possible here. Now we're going to breathe in deeply again. Let the breath go, let yourself go heavy. And very gently bring your hands back in towards your chest and let yourself roll onto one side and roll off the block very slightly. We haven't quite finished, but it's very difficult to move the bolster while you're lying down. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to turn, again, you might need a cushion if you're on a roller. We're going to turn it lengthways and it's going to go under the rib cage, so above the tailbone, and just go in that nice area of your back. So we're going to roll down and let your shoulders hang heavily over it and take your hands over your head. So the sensation will be very different. So instead of it being all up in your chest here, you'll actually feel it from the base of your rib cage in towards your pelvis. Now, we have energy centers in the body. I know a lot of you already know a lot about this already, but one of the energy centers here is our solar plexus in the middle of our body, and we don't want it locked. We want it to run freely because it helps us feel energized. It gives us willpower. That's bold and strong. Also, we have an energy center here in our pelvis, which is very creative, inspirational, which is what we need at the moment because we feel a bit down. And then we have the base, which is our root chakra, which is going to keep us feeling less anxious, less depressed. So that opening up there is going to make us feel confident, inspired, and energetic. So that's a really lovely opening here. So just drop your hands down by the sides of your body, and we're going to breathe in and really let that bottom area expand. Think about pushing the air down towards the tailbone. Big deep breath in. Hold that breath, and as you exhale, let the breath go. And you'll feel the back is probably going to be under some pressure, so if it's uncomfortable, you can unroll that blanket a little bit. You don't have to be in this strong position. One more time, big deep breath in. And let the breath go. Nice feeling. And then very gently slide the palms of your feet in towards your bottom. Lift your bottom off and slide that bolster out, or that towel, or whatever you're using, and just drop it down. And you'll instantly feel your back feels lovely because it can just soften into the ground. With your hands on your hips, just let your pelvis rock backwards and forwards against the ground, lifting. So it's just the pelvis that's moving. Just feel a little bit of motion through the back, and then bring your knees in towards your chest and just relieve that even further by massaging your lower spine, rolling your weight from side to side across. That's lovely. We're going to end with a twist and sit up and just end the class properly. Just going to take the hands out to the sides. Now, just bring your knees level with your hips. They're not in towards your body, they're not out over bar, they're level, stacked on top of your hips. And we're just going to rock the knees down to one side. If you're like me, you'll feel it all click. How do I enjoy that? But if you feel uncomfortable, obviously don't go too far. And then come up over the top, same again. Realign your knees with your hips and come all the way back over. And come back up. Cross your feet over, hold on to your ankles, let's rock back up, let's really flush out the spine by rolling across the back. Rocking up and come up nice and tall. Lift up at the top, and you're going to feel like there's quite a lot of activity in your lower back. So I want you just to allow the back to move. In fact, you can even let your rib cage kind of lead a little bit of a circle. So with the base of your rib cage, let me lift and drop, and you'll feel that move into your back and down your spine. And make sure you do both directions, just to relieve up. And then up nice and tall on top of your toe. We're going to bring the shoulder, we're going to place one hand on the ground and lead with the shoulder, and we're going to come down towards that knee. You're going to feel that lower back. Oh, it feels good, doesn't it? It feels nice to relax it. Now inhale, come back up, let's swap over, do the same on the other side. Oh, yeah, I feel that, so I'm sure you'll feel it just as much. Oh. And back up. And this time with the shoulder, rib down, round the front, inhale at the other knee and come back up. Same direction, let's do it 3 times. So we exhale, round the front, inhale back up, feel that lower back give way. Give way is the right word, but let it release, and all the way around, and inhale at the top and stop with the breath inside your lungs. Let's change the direction, let's come all the way back down. Now back up, turn, lead with the shoulder, round the front, inhale back up, and turn, and all the way down. And come up to the top and stop. As in there, hands onto your opposite knee, exhale by drawing the shoulder back and doing that nice gentle twist that we had before. Inhale back to center, nice and tall. Exhale onto the other side. And inhale, come back to center and soften your shoulders. Soften your face. You can close your eyes and keep moving, it doesn't matter, but your jaw, just let your jaw give way, nice open. We're breathing through, it's nice and slowly but deeply, so nice long breath. Part the lips, let that air just leave the body nice and gently, don't push it, just like that sigh, that release, it's nice. Do it again, in through the nose, cool air through the nose. Part the lips, let the breath go. Smile. Let's see a smile on everyone's faces, and one more time, breathing in. That nice big relaxed smile, and let the breath go. Bring your hands into your heart. It's always good to smile. It's a new year, new things, new exciting things, nothing to be sad about. Now take your hands up nice and high. Let's open up, stretch up, bring it, open up the back. Let's just protect that bubble we're in. Let's coat it with really good energy, clear out any negativity so we don't need it anymore. Come up nice and high. We're not going to let anybody into our bubble that we don't want to. We're going to bring the hands down in front of the heart. Bring them close and in. Namaste.